Now, writer and podcaster Marina Fogel has expressed a controversial opinion about raising children. She says there's no harm in losing it with your kids and shouting at them because they will encounter angriness in their lives. In fact, she thinks it's good for children to see you being angry. I have to say, I'm with Marina on this. It's caught my eye this morning, and I thought, do you know what? I'm with her on that because I tried not to always be that shouty mum. But after the 20th time of going, Jack, could you please pick up your trainers from the hall? Jack, please, darling, could you pick up your trainer? After a while and days of that, I have lost it in the past. Really lost it.
Well, I don't think you'd be human
have
if you didn't.
Shouted, done the whole hairdryer in the... If I have to tell you again... He's like that. He's like this. But that's the grumpy face. Look at the grumpy face. When I ask him to do something, that's what I get. So when you're faced with that, and sometimes you just lose it. And I agree with you, Marina. I don't think it harms them. You don't be doing that every single day.
Did it work? That's the key question.
It did work.
Because
no,
that face you've just shown, that was my face from the age of 12 to 16. I had 4 years. I perfected that face. And my mother and father would both say, if you don't take that look off your face, we're going to knock it off.
Yeah.
Did it work? No.
Didn't work.
Did you find that the more they shouted at you, the less likely you were to do anything?
The only thing that worked was my Welsh granny, and I was, when I was 10, we used to go there for all school holidays between the ages of about 10 and 14. There's my Welsh granny, and we'd arrive at her house.
She looks a bit scary, to be fair.
She looks what?
A bit scary.
She is scary. She was scary. She didn't speak a lot of English. She mostly communicated in Welsh. But I knew when I arrived at her house, she'd made a birch rod and put it over the back door, and my mother would go, see, 9, that's Welsh for granny, has put that over the door, and if there's any messing about, that's on your backside.
And it worked, because you didn't mess about. Brenda, were you a shouty mum?
I'm going to say yes, I was a shouty mum. And I think, you know, I've spoken before about my strict upbringing and, you know, how when I was at school, we used to get the cane if you misbehaved from the head teacher. And if I would get the cane at school, I'd be really nervous to go home because I might well get another cane, but it wouldn't be a cane, it might be, you know, a little smack. And so I would have that 20-minute agonising journey. I don't want to go home, I don't want to go home, I don't want to... And I'm clinching everything. And then I'll run upstairs and put some magazines in my bum, and then I'll come back and say, why is your bum so flat? Why does it look so square? Because I'm flinching and I know that there's something I need padding. But, yeah, I've learnt from my mistakes to not do that with my kids. But I have been... Yeah,
I don't think it hurts, Coleen, though, because Jack sees a lot of love in our house. He sees a lot of laughter. He's had a great life, really. I'd like to think, Jack. But you know, I don't think it hurts to suddenly for one of us to lose our temper when he's doing something wrong over and over and over again.
Well, I certainly don't think you should, you know, beat yourself up over it because you've lost your temper, especially when you're with them a lot of the times 24/7. And like you said, they're not listening to you and they're little, so you can't reason with them. I don't agree with it when they're older. I don't see any point in shouting at a teenager because they just shut their ears as soon as you shout.
And do that face.
And I found, and do that. I remember one time I was ranting about something and Shane had just turned 13, I think. And I was ranting and ranting and ranting. And he went, oh, chill out.
That's like red rag to bull for me.
I mean, I'm not really that type of person, but God, did he know what came for him, I tell you.
Got the hairdryer.
But as they've got older, I didn't shout, and they found my being quiet was more scary than my shouting. They always knew if I was quiet, oh, we've really annoyed her. And they said that was worse.
I think you're probably right, actually. If you know you've lost your cool, don't you?
Yeah, you do.
And when I lost my cool with Jack, I remember that day, I then behaved like a complete teenager. So I screamed at him. I think I used the sweary word as well. And then I slammed his door. I went down the stairs through the kitchen, and our kitchen door's got glass in it. I slammed that so hard I had to glance behind because I thought it was going to smash. And I ran up the stairs, slammed my bedroom door, and then threw myself on the bed and cried. I was like, what's the matter with me? Then I had to explain to him about the menopause. I was like, just a little thing Mummy needs to discuss with you.
Yeah. But Ruth, when I did that teaching series years ago and I had to be a trainee teacher and teach 8 or 9-year-olds, the one thing I took from my training was, if you lose your voice, you've lost the class. That's what the head teacher said. And it took every bit of my patience not to scream at these kids whinging on about what colour pen can they do the exercise in and all.
But I'm glad I've learned that it's important to apologise. I apologise, you know, if I do that. I'm sorry that I did that, but you did this, and then we have a more open discussion.
Yeah.
Yeah. So
but it's hard to do that when they're really little and they don't get it.
I didn't used to apologise when they're little.
I did.
It doesn't hurt for you to see me shout at you.
Oh, my God, I used to go sometimes and go, I don't even love you, I don't even like you.
I don't like you.
Go away.